I'm going to talk about narrative writing for a minute, all right? Narrative writing is when we write a story, okay? So I'm going to show you how to make a story map. Now, the most important things about narrative writing, we need to have characters, setting, a problem, a solution, and there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, so in this story map, it's kind of fun because you can actually draw pictures to help tell your story. Okay, so in the beginning of the story, I'm just going to make up a story called The Lost Puppy. Okay, so in the beginning of the story, I'm going to put some keywords of things that I want to have in the beginning. I want my setting, so we're going to say that we are at the park, and I want my characters. So I'm going to say we have, of course, if we're going to have a puppy, then we have a puppy. And the puppy probably needs an owner, right? So we'll say that the owner's name is Brooklyn. Okay, so there's my setting and my characters. It's good to introduce the setting and the characters in the beginning of the story, or else the readers are going to be really confused, okay? So I'm just going to draw a quick picture. I'm going to draw a park with a slide, and we've got some swings, and then there's Brooklyn, and she has her puppy. I don't know how to draw a puppy, but there we go, on a leash. Okay, so there's the beginning of my story. Okay, now I'm going to move to the middle of my story, and if I titled my story The Lost Puppy, and I need to have a problem, what do you think my problem is going to be? Obviously that I'm going to lose my puppy, right? So in the middle of the story, we're going to lose, or the puppy is going to be lost. Okay, that's going to happen. That's one of my problems is going to happen in the middle of my story. So I'm going to draw a picture, and maybe I have Brooklyn here, and then her puppy is chasing. Maybe it's going to chase a bird. So the puppy, maybe you could say the leash breaks, and then the puppy chases after the bird. So over here I can put chase bird, leash breaks. Notice I'm not writing complete sentences right now. I'm just putting ideas out there of what can happen in my story, okay? Okay, now, obviously at the end of the story, I'm going to need a solution. We can't just leave it with a lost puppy, right? So I'm going to, in the end of the story, we find the puppy. So maybe I could have Brooklyn here, and the puppy's right here, jumping on her, giving her loves, okay? And she's really happy to see her puppy. So we could add things like, where would she find her puppy? Like maybe the puppy is hiding by the bushes or something. Okay, and that's how we could end our story, is she searches and then she finds her puppy hiding by the bushes. Now, this is just an example of how you could make a story map, and then you can turn your story map into a story using dialogue. Now let's talk for a second about dialogue, okay? Dialogue is when we put quotation marks around what somebody says, okay? So I'm gonna show you real quick. In Brooklyn, we've got our map right here, and I'm gonna have to erase some so I can have some room, okay? At the very beginning, if Brooklyn wants to go to the park, what might Brooklyn say? She might say something like, let's take the puppy on a walk to the park. Now, because Brooklyn said this, I'm going to put quotation marks around it like this, and then at the end I'm going to put Brooklyn said. Speaking of Brooklyn, this is my Brooklyn. Anyway, I hope that helps. Add quotation marks into your story, okay?